Welcome back to another episode of Adventures in Business. We have something very fun and very useful for you individually and also for businesses. So we're excited about our guest today. But before we jump into that, how you doing, Lisa?
Well, Amy, I am excited as usual about our guest. So I'm really looking forward to introducing her when we're ready and just hearing from her and what she has to offer. How about you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's spring and most people I encounter seem like they've got a little bit of boost of energy. Everyone's feeling a little bit better. It's always that time of year in Michigan, right? Although we've had a lot of rain and clouds, so we're getting there. Yeah, I know most people listen to our show via audio, but we
Hmm.
have started recording this year, and we do have our YouTube channel, which is Adventures in Business
Yeah.
YouTube, and we do have the videos. And I wish that everyone could like see your face, Lisa, because every time we mention our guest or talk about who we're having on, your face like just lights up, and you truly are really excited about every guest that we have, which is awesome because like we've said before, this show is a labor of love, and you and I both are huge advocates for small business in the area and supporting business owners, and we do get really excited about this. So it's just so to our listeners, if you mostly listen to this on audio version and you want to see our faces and look at how excited Lisa gets, check out our YouTube channel. So, all right, with enough of
I
that.
love
Okay,
it.
so tell us who we got. Excitedly tell us who we have, Lisa.
Excitedly, we have Sarah Russell, and she is the founder of the Joyful Juniper company. And this is a company that she started to share her passion for businesses and to tell story behind the products. And she supports all different types of businesses and artisans local. And welcome, Sarah. We're so glad to have you. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Very excited to see both of you and grateful for this chance to, just highlight new business. So thank you.
Fantastic. Oh, we're so glad you're like we were sharing before the recording started. Sarah's name comes up in many, many circles in the 517 community. So if you have not met her yet, you get to hear her story today, but I still encourage you to reach out and meet her. So tell our listeners, what is Joyful Juniper?
Yes, so in 2021, in March of 2021, I started a gifting company. And my company, we do custom and corporate gifting. We provide a product called a Juni Box. And this Juni Box is full of really incredible, high quality, a lot of local product. Along with that, we do a custom gifting service. And so we've been working with a lot of local businesses on integrating, strategy in their business and how gifting can help. So it's just been really fun to kind of get out there and help with some gifts, spreading joy through gifting.
I love it. Spreading joy. Who doesn't want to be joyful and happy? And right, we need a lot of those feelings going on. So, how do you vet your vendors that are putting things in your boxes?
Yeah, so especially when it comes to our gourmet snacks, all of these snack vendors are licensed. A lot of times I'm making local connections with our businesses here in the Lansing area in Mason. And a lot of them are homemade items. Really great story and a background that's really fun to share as well. And so it's just really it's what I like to tell people is how important it is to not only have really great quality product, but to also incorporate some personalization. And so getting to know the recipient, getting to know the business and their goals in terms of gifting and what that message is behind the gift. We're able to personalize and brand products, just make it a really special gifting experience.
Fantastic. You don't have to name the company, but what was one of your favorite boxes to assemble?
Yes, so originally one of my favorite when we first started was the date night box. And so it's kind of a little bit out there, but I think, date night box is an example of a gift for really any occasion. It doesn't have to be, a birthday. I think celebrating our connections is extremely important in this time right now where people, it's challenging. It's challenging to stay connected with busy life. And so we created a date night box that kind of, encourages someone to slow down, take a second, enjoy each other, have a little cocktail and a drink with some popcorn, and just a really great idea of a gift.
Yeah, and
It
I
was
see that
really
you. Oh, go ahead, Lisa. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say it was really fun. I was in Cravings Popcorn one day, who was also a guest on our podcast, and I saw one of your boxes. Well, you had like 3 of them on the shelf, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
there she is.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that I noticed a lot of your boxes have the Cravings popcorn, and that's a local. Yeah,
Yes. And
so
working with Chad and finding these local vendors is my heart and soul. I am an entrepreneur, to the core. And so, building those connections and learning about the individual who started that company, and being able to share that with my clients, it just makes it special.
mhm. I like how you've named these boxes too. I was just looking at your website. You have the American barbecue box with some
Yes.
saddleback stuff, which
Yep.
is another local company. You've got the date night, the digital detox box. That's a good.
Yes.
We all need some of that. You've got a raccoon bark box. That's really cute. Box, and then you've got some stuff for like new babies, coffee
Yes.
lover box, lemon tea box. It's just very you've put a lot of thought into it, and I can see where each one of these I could use it or send it to somebody that I know.
Wonderful. And on our website, junibox.com, you'll see a lot of these ready to ship gift boxes. Those are wonderful examples, but that's just kind of a small part of what we're able to do for people. I think it's really important to highlight that my service is also custom. And so if somebody comes to me and says, we love this example of a baby box on your website, but we're interested in putting, a blanket in there with the baby's name on it. So those are things that we can source and personalize and kind of just elevate and make it a little extra special.
So give us an example of a corporate client that would be an ongoing client. So how may a corporation use these boxes, continuously or for different reasons?
Of course. An example of an industry would be the investment financial industry. These are individuals who bring on clients and families, people who become lifetime clients. And I think that in business, I found myself, and I've just heard from people with making connections, that the initial sale and bringing those people in is really, kind of the easy part, but establishing that connection and making them feel special and just showing appreciation, for these lifetime clients, is really important to them as well. So being able to incorporate, end of year gifting or, birthday gifts throughout the year for those clients is also something that we can do.
Right. So you said the financial industry. What are some other
Yes.
industries that might benefit from this?
So we have also worked with some corporate companies who have a large number of employees. In the manufacturing industry, it's really the way they speak about their staff and employees and how much they appreciate what they do. And then being able to be a part of helping them celebrate that connection and just show appreciation for employees. We've done a lot of employee appreciation day gifts, diversity day gifts, really gifts for just to say thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. We appreciate you. I think it's in business, it's easier to show appreciation to your current employees than it is to hire a new one and find somebody new. So I really think it's important to focus on, having that connection and staying connected, especially in a world now where some people are remote and you don't even see their face, on a daily
Right.
basis anymore. So
Yeah.
it's really beautiful to be able to get to know these corporate companies and find out what it is that's important to them and help create a strategy.
Yeah. And I just love it that you use so many local businesses in
Yes.
your boxes. That's one of
Yes.
the things that makes you very unique compared to other subscription box things or types of things like that.
Yes, and gifting does not have to be a huge cost. I think when it comes to gifts, um, the high quality product is very important, but it's also the story. It's also opening a gift and learning about the popcorn company and Chad and where he's,
Hmm.
his backstory. Um, I have found just in learning, the reaction from the recipient, how amazing it is to learn about the company and make that connection, because that connection to that product is almost, even more impactful than opening just another Yeti mug.
Right. And you're doing your part in promoting these other businesses
Yes.
too as well.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that we lose sight of is we don't really recognize what goods and services and products we have here locally. And I often hear you can't be a prophet in your own town. And I think that's not a true statement because we've got some amazing, not only talent in terms of some of the artistic things that you're finding, but just also good quality product from people who care and are looking to give back to the community through
Yes.
through their services. And so I think that becomes very important as you are doing a great job, like Amy said, showcasing not only yourself, but the other businesses as well. So thank you so much for advocating for the local 517 community. I think that's important.
Of course. And I am an entrepreneur, like I said, in my heart and soul. And so getting to know and being, as a small business myself, my product is very important, but I love making those connections with vendors, and especially someone who takes the time to make something homemade, whether it's a mug or some soaps. So my goal this year is really to kind of dive in a little bit more into the community and find some more vendors. So if anyone out there is listening, and is interested in making a connection and possibly working and partnering with us to kind of promote each other and build that partnership, I would love that.
Yeah, I love that you said that. So throw out some ideas of things that you're looking to put in your boxes. I know you said some mugs or soap. What are some other things?
So we find huge success in incorporating gourmet snacks. So anything local, whether that's toffee, caramel, chocolate companies, coffee companies who maybe package their coffee and sell that wholesale. I think those are some really great options to make those connections.
So where do you store everything? Do you have a storehouse? Are you just doing this out of, I'm just curious.
Yes, that is a part of my story that I love to share. So, I started this business. I'm currently in my parents' basement. We call it the Joyful Juniper Basement Store. Um, and that's where we store our product. We do have a food warehouse license. So, our food and our gourmet snacks, we have had the state of Michigan come in just to make sure that our storage facility in the basement is appropriate for handling food and repackaging and putting those in our gift boxes. Um, but there's a lot of beauty right now in being able to be so close with my family and my parents. And the goal obviously is to move out of the basement. But I think, being an entrepreneur and connecting with other entrepreneurs who have this kind of start to their story, where they started at the kitchen table or in their guest bedroom. That's where we are currently.
That is really great. So, looking forward to connecting with other entrepreneurs, other people that have products and services, growing to the point that you're out of the basement. But when you hit the end of this year and you were like, yes, we have won this year, what do you want to happen?
For me this year, it really is, like I said, making those connections with some new local vendors and really getting into the corporate world and the corporate industries out there who don't, a lot of companies that we work with the HR department, and so those HR business professionals are spending a lot of time with the project of creating a gift and sourcing pulling in branded products, curating them, shipping them out. And we are full service. We do all of that for these companies. We design, we curate, we source product, and we ship on their behalf. So it really is full service, taking that off their plate, allowing that individual to work on, some other projects within the company instead.
So you are a phenomenal leverage for these corporations for retention by gifting our
Yes.
employees great things and by assisting that HR person taking the work off of them and letting you, the one stop, fulfill their needs. There you go.
Yes.
You're worth your weight in gold right there.
That's
Retention
right.
and time.
That's right. That's right. And in corporate gifting, it's, you can do really anything. I have done corporate gifts where every product inside is branded. And the purpose of that gift is to just show appreciation to partners. And so that gift is sent to a big corporate building where the staff that they're sending it to can just grab some, pens and Yeti mugs and whatever products are in there are branded. That's the purpose, is just to show appreciation and have something that kind of speaks to multiple people. We've also done gifts where maybe a couple products inside are branded and the rest are just really good quality product that complements what the message is they're trying to send. And we've also done corporate gifts that are nothing branded. The purpose of the
Mhm.
gift is not to send something branded, but just to say thank you and how much they appreciate their client. So really,
Right.
it's simple. It's just having that conversation up front, learning about what their goal is, and
Mhm.
creating that strategy.
So you're a fairly new company, like you said.
Yes.
You are
Mhm.
currently working out of your home or a home, and you're looking to expand. How are you getting the word out about your company other than being on our podcast?
Yes. So a lot of it right now is word of mouth. I am on social media. I have a Facebook page and an Instagram page. My Instagram and Facebook are both really great places to go to see kind of a good wide range of, especially in the custom gifting realm, because custom gifting is hard to, show on our website without having a giant, huge gallery. So I would say my gallery is Instagram. We have a really good just representation on Instagram of what we can do.
And what's your handle?
It's the Juni Box.
At the Juni Box.
At the Juni Box. Yes.
Junie. Juni Box.
Junie. Yes.
And we'll have the links to all that in our show notes, of course.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So tell me about Juniper and Junie. Where did that come from?
Yes. So my grandma June, we namesaked one of my daughters after her. She was the most beautiful, joyful, lovely person. And so when I decided to name the company the Joyful Juniper, because our slogan is to give joy with a Junie. That's the purpose. My mission is to spread joy, to create a gifting experience that's just joyful. But knowing how impactful she was in my life and how joyful she was, just creating that product name and calling it a Juni Box, that's where that originated from.
Wow, what an honor. What an honor to name your company after someone who's
Mm-hmm.
impacted your life. That's
Yes.
great. That is great. So you have one daughter that's named after her as well, so that
Yes,
you have more than one daughter?
I do. I do. Um, I am a full-time single mom of three. And so we are very, very busy. I'm going to have three middle schoolers next year. So we're busy, but they love to be involved in this business. They love to kind of, have the opportunity to come down and help us with fulfillment. And so being able to have this family operation where my kids can be involved, and it's wonderful. I love every second of it.
Do they often give you ideas of what to put in the boxes?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Teacher appreciation comes around and they go
That's a good one.
downstairs and they'll create their own boxes. And sometimes even for friends, they'll come down and create a box for a friend. So
Aw,
it's really great
yeah.
to see their creativity involved as
Yeah.
well.
That's a good point because the end of the school year, even though it's only, it's April. I mean, that's coming up in
Yes.
a few weeks. So what's your lead time for
So we,
boxes?
it really depends. If somebody's looking for something personalized and custom, where we might have to source a product with their name on it, or something personalized, it's about 2 weeks.
Oh,
If it's something that I have in inventory, and they give me a couple days advance notice. We do free delivery locally, free pickup locally here in Mason, um, but we also ship. We also ship as well.
2 weeks is not that long. I mean, that's
No.
great. And that includes like products that will be branded if you
Yes.
put, okay,
Yes.
wow.
Yeah.
So do you
That
work with a
is
local company that does the printing and the branding and things like
I
that
do.
for
I
everything?
work with Paper Image in
Ah,
Holt, with
yeah.
Missy Trudell and her amazing, wonderful team. So
Well, and what a great partner with you. I mean, Missy is like the epitome of somebody who spreads joy, right?
she is joy. She
She
is
is.
joy.
She's a definition of joy.
yes.
She's
Yeah.
I
amazing.
love
And
that.
I ran the Mason Chamber of Commerce for 3 years before I kind of I dove into
Mhm.
entrepreneurship and starting my own business. And so I made a lot of beautiful connections with business owners, through the chamber. And so meeting Missy there, when I started my business, she was one of my first go-tos. And she helped me with, a lot of my stickers, a lot of what you see in my box, my
Mhm.
cards,
Hmm.
everything we've worked with
Yeah.
them on
Great
design, and
partner.
Good.
really great.
Who
Yeah.
else besides Missy, right? Becoming an entrepreneur, going out of from working for the chamber to starting your business. What other resources did you utilize to help you with your success?
Yes, so I have a lot of what I call business mentors, people who have been in business in different industries for, 20, 30 years. And it may not be anything that's, right in line with starting a gifting company per se, but just starting a business. And so I've made a lot of connections where I can sit down and I love talking business with anyone. It's just starting, someone who's established. I feel like I'm a little sponge, and I just like to learn and make those connections. And so a lot of the connections I made through the chamber were my first conversations. This is what I want to do. What do you suggest? How would you get started? So if there's someone out there who's considering starting something, that's a huge piece of advice that I would give, is to, really look at your circle, look at who you're connected to, and just have the conversation.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think it's really important to talk to people who are also doing something similar to you.
Yes,
Mhm.
Even, I mean, because it's a big wide world out there and
it is.
everybody's different and you don't need to be afraid or feel like, oh, it's too similar to what I want to do or anything like that. I mean, it's good. We can all do our own spin on things, and there's no point in reinventing the wheel when you can get some good advice and maybe avoid some hardships or things that other people have gone
Absolutely.
through. Yeah.
Mhm.
One of my
Mhm.
best friends, Kendra Patterson, owns Michigan Barnwood and Salvage, which is a very well-known business in Mason.
Yeah.
She is a huge part of my getting started. I was not only allowed to have my gifts inside of her gift store, which is a testament to her amazing personality and just wanting to see other people succeed. Um, but we have also partnered with Michigan Barnwood, and a lot of her customers and people who love her product in her store. I can put together a gift box with her product and ship on their behalf as well. So
Yeah.
so that's been really great to learn from her, who's been in retail. She has 50,000 plus followers on Facebook, and just a wonderful individual.
Yeah, you should tell her about being a guest on the
I
show.
will.
Yeah, they are one of my go-to places for unique gifts. I do go there several times a
Absolutely.
year. Hmm.
Yes. And she
Yep.
just joined the board for the MRA, Michigan Retailers Association.
Oh,
And so
nice.
I just think she has an incredible business brain and marketing brain. And she's a great person to reach out to and to ask, questions. She loves to see other people succeed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, and I think what you just gave a great tip to our listeners about finding mentors, right?
Yes.
And asking questions about business, because sometimes we have a great idea and run with it. And we need those mentors that are going to come alongside us and help us and guide us and direct us. So that is a
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
piece of advice for others.
Especially if there's an area that, you either don't like or aren't great at in your business, because there's, we talked about this before, but there's this great myth that like business owners know everything there is to know about their business and operating their business. And a good example of that is like the finances and taxes and things like that. I absolutely hire an accountant to do that because I don't want to, and I'm not great at it. So there's all those people that, if you just don't want to do part of your business, hire it out if you can, or get those partners too.
Absolutely. And I will say, being the chamber director for 3 years, in Mason, there's over 300 members there. I've joined the local Lansing area chamber of commerce for both of my businesses. And I will always be a huge advocate for chamber membership. I will always, always, suggest to anybody to get involved in their local chamber. Because if you, for example, don't have those connections or know those types of people yet, that is the best place to get connected.
Yep. I agree. Lisa and I are both Lansing Chamber members. Lisa has been an ambassador for quite a long time too. She's the ultimate. She's a person that goes around the room and connects people with who they need to know. Or if she sees somebody standing by themselves and they don't really know who to talk to, she'll be like, "Hey, come over here and talk to this person." She's like the ultimate chamber host.
I love it. I've heard that. I love that.
I love connecting people. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
because you build business through relationships. You really, really do. And it's so much easier to build a relationship sometimes than it is to sell a product or a service. Um, because
Yep.
people, they're not looking to be sold to. So
Right.
relationships are huge. Um, so what's next for you? Where do you see this going? You talked about both your businesses. So what's next?
So what's next? So this year, like I said, number one goal is to make connections, in the Lansing area and Mason surrounding areas with corporate businesses who maybe have never considered gifting as a tool. It doesn't always have to be just a cost. There are ways that you can build a strategy to incorporate gifting as a way to, maybe generate some income. And if that's something that they've never thought about, I would love to have the opportunity to connect with them and have that conversation.
Yeah, it sounds like you not only provide the product, the gift,
Yes.
but you provide the education and the strategy and the planning, which can be, like we said earlier, a retention situation, a marketing tool, things like that,
Yes.
which is great. You're not just selling them a box of amazing goodies. You're selling them
Right.
a strategy to build their business on.
Yes. Yes. And as a, growing business myself, I would love the opportunity to help others grow as well.
Great.
Mhm. I love it. So, is there anything that we've not asked you? I don't know if you want to mention your other business. Is there anything we've not asked you that you would like to share with the listeners?
I do. I started another business in Mason that I'm very excited about. We've been in business about 6 months now. It's called the Jefferson Mason, and it's kind of a new idea where it's a multi-use rentable space. So it's right across from Keens. Keens has been in Mason for over 90 years. So if you know where Keens is located, we're right across from Keens. Um, and it's the jeffersonmason.com is the best place to go and find out more information. But we have a multi-use rentable space by the hour, and so you can use it for photography studio, you can use it for a business meeting, annual planning meeting, a baby shower, bridal showers we've had in there, which is really fun. We even had someone who has an online business host their ribbon cutting in the Jefferson Mason. So just being able to create a community space, because community is also my heart and soul. And so having this open to the community, not just in Mason, but outside of Mason as well, in the Lansing area and surrounding areas, as a space to kind of make their own. It really is kind of a blank canvas. There's a beautiful 12-foot table that's there with seating for 12 around a kind of a beautiful conference table, with some seating area, sofas, and it's really set up to really just make your own kind of an event space, multi-use rentable space.
Very good. Thank you for sharing. I wasn't sure if you wanted to bring that up, but it's there's a need out there. People that are working from home or looking for a place to host an executive meeting where they might want to go off site. I think that's very beneficial,
Yes.
and they can give their participants
Yeah.
Juni
I
boxes.
can think of 3 people right now I'm going to tell after the show that there's
I
a
love
space
it.
available to rent.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's available
Yeah.
and it's hourly. And it's a tiered structure in terms of pricing, which is also found on our website. So if you book for a 4-hour block, the pricing decreases. It's a little bit cheaper. Same for the full day. So it's tiered where we want it to get used. We want to see people get in there and utilize the space and use it for what they need it for. So it is kind of a business suite / event venue is the way that I'm promoting the
Okay.
space.
Cool.
Excellent. Sarah, thank you so much for being a guest on our show today and sharing with us the wonderful business that you have started and are going to continue to flourish, helping our business owners, whether it's helping them maintain their talent or even the ones that are providing the services and advocating for others. So we were so glad to have you today and look forward to meeting you in person at one of the chamber events, right? That we
Yes,
have
of
coming up.
course, of course. I think
Absolutely.
it's wonderful what you do, and I appreciate both of you so much. I've heard very, very amazing things about both of you, and I think what you're doing is wonderful to provide this opportunity. So I would just like to say thank you and how grateful I am.
Oh, well, we appreciate that. I consider
Absolutely.
myself the lucky one because I get to talk to and find out about so many cool businesses in the area. So I feel like I'm the lucky one, but thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to our listeners, if you have there's an event coming up that you need a gift for and you want to provide something super unique and local, or if you own a business or a part of a business and you can let your corporation know about that, this is a great service. And again, that's at junibox.com. And also check out the Instagram where there's lots of pictures on there, and we'll have all the links in our show notes to the show. So thank you again so much, Sarah, for being on our
Thank
show. We
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And to all our listeners, thanks for coming along for the ride and learning more about Juni Box and the Juniper Joy Company. And we release new episodes every Wednesday. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, you can sign up at zediamedia.com. That's also where you can find these episodes or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So we hope you have a great day. And of course, go out and make it an adventure.